Whether you are a fan of like really really good 80s synth R&B or you are a fan of jazzy slowed down matured hip hop, the Grammys and nominations for the upcoming cycle, well, they don't really care about your opinion because apparently The Weeknd and Mac Miller both got snubbed and they, well, are totally deserving of one of these amazing awards that the music industry allows as gatekeepers. Yeah, personally, I am a big fan of The Weeknd and Mac Miller. I grew up listening to both of their music, and frankly, The Weeknd was not afraid of speaking up and saying, well, this is wrong, and why is this so corrupt? Why is it a messed up industry in this sort of way? You owe me and my fans what we deserve. As far as his tweet goes, that went completely viral, and for all of the right reasons because, well, apparently himself and myself are not the only ones that think that he totally deserved some kind of award for an amazing album, being that Save Your Tears is one of my favorite songs on the album. But also, I'm pretty sure that you've heard Blinding Lights. That song has been everywhere this year since the album came out, going viral on TikTok and things like that with certain dances, and well, that's exactly one of the reasons why he should have won something, right? Same thing with the passing of Mac Miller. He is one of the biggest artists that I have listened to ever in terms of hip-hop and pop music, and Woods is one of my favorite songs on his album, but this album is also amazing, and it is very matured. It's not like his older stuff. It is growth, and it shows that. Now, in my opinion, I don't know about you, but what makes an album or song Grammy-worthy is that they become timeless, and they are just these great pieces of music, not just for a trend, like how Justin Bieber got nominated, but not that his music is bad, but I also don't think that he was as good as these other two artists that totally deserve this. If you are able to move culture and bring people together and create massive waves of trend that last a long time, not just 1 year but multiple years, and your albums, well, they become timeless, like I said. They have a certain feeling to them that is kind of like fine wine and letting that age, and it just gets better and better or never gets worse over time. That is really what seems like the case here with The Weeknd and Mac Miller. Both of their albums are, well, they have this quality to them. Very, very few people are able to take 80s synth pop and R&B and fuse them together, and even more genres of The Weeknd's album, and make them a really amazing project. Like, a lot of people will try this, and it'll just come off as cheesy or overdone, overproduced. So many artists have tried this before, but The Weeknd, he just makes everything that he touches gold. Which is what I think about Mac Miller's album as well. I mean, he's no longer with us, of course, and rest in peace. But his album is just this. It is an amazing jazz, pop, hip-hop album. Think about it. Who do you know can hit the mainstream, make a timeless record, and have it so much of jazz and just these really amazing chords throughout? It's called pop culture for a reason, and pop culture meaning that it is a kind of gateway into a bunch of streams and trends. And jazz music is not really a trend. It is really, really hard to take anything that is out of the ordinary or that is more so indie and put it into the mainstream culture for everyone to pay attention to. That is what he did as well with this project. The biggest thing that stands out to me about the Grammys, at least for this year, and years prior even, is that, well, they kind of are gatekeepers for the music industry. Like, me as a filmmaker, I would want to get, well, what do you call it? An Oscar for any kind of movie, or just any kind of film festival award, if I were on a team and I made a project that I was really proud of, that a lot of people tuned into. That's what matters about this, and that is not what the Grammys have paid attention to this time around. Mostly what the Grammys seem to be paying attention to this time around is just what is popular in the moment. It's really kind of surface level stuff that they are awarding here, and that is really not how the Grammys should work. I mean, if you're going to have an award system that is really prestigious and gives honor to those that deserve it, well, I think that they should also deserve being recognized for something that they made timeless, that wouldn't just last a couple of months or take part in some kind of fancy trend that a bunch of popular apps are using, but they should also be recognized for years on end. Because The Weeknd, I mean, he is one of the best R&B artists that we have ever seen this past decade. Meaning that he can go from his mixtape era of this slower jam R&B, and even being co-signed by Drake, who is one of the best to ever do it in the marketing and music industry, to then going with his own name and creating these albums that, well, they explode every single time. I mean, he's had more than just 2 number ones. He's had, I think, like 5 #1 albums by now. And not just that, but this past album is something that stayed in the charts for a long time. So that shows it didn't just get popularity the first day or the first week of it, but it stayed in the culture of pop music. And not even that, but this dude, Abel, he actually played a character this entire year from his album release. With the broken nose, the red suit, the hair, the blood, the bandages, the everything. He performed like this and did an amazing job at that. He was even compared to Michael Jackson, if I could find the comments. If not, then you could definitely see certain moves that he takes part in from the great Michael Jackson, and he really has that style. I've been dodging death in the 6-speed. Not that he is another Michael Jackson, of course, he is the Weeknd, and rightfully so, but he takes part in a lot of these cultures that mix and fuse a lot of them together within his music. Literally, look at this performance where he is just going through these hallways and just looking badass for the most part. How many people do you know that can move this much and still sound amazing in a live performance? I don't know many. Even Justin Bieber has an amazing voice, but the dude moves a lot and it's hard for him to sound this good. And as important as sounding good is in music, I mean, that's not the most important part either. It's kind of a combination of cinematic things, of characterized things for an album, like you want your theme to really portray what your music is entailing, right? So he made a bunch of music videos, really, really good music videos. He brought those to life, even with a bunch of fireworks and these big sets. He really showed that he is continuously evolving. I mean, look at the hair. The hair, for one, shows evolution in The Weeknd. I think that's one of the biggest things that we can all recognize because he used to have this pineapple-esque, right? Now he's just more matured, and so is his music. And man, I don't know about you guys, but Save Your Tears is just... That song is gonna just age like fine wine for real, dude. Like, I could see in 10 years, we're gonna look back on that song as we do the 80s now and really, like, hear those qualities within it. Not just with the synths of 80s R&B or pop, but you can really, really hear just the melodies. And when a song has really good melody, which is why Justin Bieber's songs always chart and are really, really famous, he has amazing melodies, and so does The Weeknd. He's one of the people that have really mastered that within his own sound. So what do you think? I really think that The Weeknd and Mac Miller deserve Grammys for these projects, and I think that the industry is just kind of saying screw you in these terms, and that's really not good for a long-term kind of branding perspective of the Grammys themselves. Like football, people aren't watching football anymore. Same thing might happen with the Grammys. If people don't get what they deserve, people aren't going to tune in. I hope you have gotten some entertainment or value from this video. I hope you have a good day or night, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.